Hi guys. Okay, now today you are going to be hearing a read aloud about a certain group of people called Native Americans. Let me show you the words. Native, that's an N, Native Americans. Americans. Can you say that with me? Native Americans. And here's a picture. Now, when I was a little girl, we called this group of people Indians, but it's really not something we do anymore. We call them Native Americans, okay? And Native Americans are the individuals who lived in America, our country that we live in, but they lived here a long, long time ago. Now, if it's true, that means it really happened, okay? And so I'm going to be telling you things that are true, that really happened. Our country is the United States of America, okay? We have lots of cities and towns, and we live in the city of Houston, okay? Now, there are lots of people who live all over the world, but we're talking about the ones just in America who lived here a long time ago. Okay, so your job is to listen and find out, how was life different for the who? Native Americans when they lived here a long, long time ago. They did not live like we live today. Yeah, it was really different. So, okay, let me show you the first picture. Here we go. So we live in a country called the United States of America. In the United States today, people like to talk on their phones. You see you're talking on the phone. Shop in the grocery store. Play on computers and work on the computer like y'all do. And watch television. Have you done these things? I think you have. I know I have. Well, did you know the Native Americans didn't do those things? Yeah, they couldn't. Now, some people in the United States live in big cities. Well, that looks like Houston almost, doesn't it? That may be Houston. Huh, that's so funny. Okay. With tall buildings and lots of traffic. Some people live in the country where there is lots of green grass, and some people drive tractors. Do we live in the city or the country? We live in the city, you're right. Now, in the United States, today there are many, many towns and cities. There are many people, cars, and buildings. But things in the United States were not always the way they are today. This is a picture of a very busy city. Oh my goodness. Some cities have buses and trains. Today in America, there are lots of really busy cities. Where do we live? In a city. Good job. Now, a long, 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 long time ago, before your mother and father were even born, and even long before your grandparents were born, the United States looked very different. This reminds me of that word from our Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Remember, it was forest. This looks like a forest, doesn't it? Yeah. Well, there were no phones and no computers. There were no tall buildings. There were no cars or tractors. And there were no grocery stores. Not as many people lived back then. This is a picture of what our country may have looked like, because they didn't have cameras for us to take pictures. Do you see what's in this picture? A wild animal, a deer. Yeah. I don't see any buildings. Now, in that time, a long, long time ago, 400 years ago, there were trees and rivers everywhere. There were rocks and mountains. there were wild animals like deer and birds. The only people who lived here way back then were called, remember? Native Americans. Native Americans. And you see one in the picture here, okay? Now, what do you notice different about this man as compared, if you think about the men like your dads and grandpas and uncles today? How does he look different? The way he's dressed. Yeah, he looks different, doesn't he? We don't dress like that today, do we? No, we probably get arrested for not wearing enough clothes. Yeah, so they wore different things back then. And their clothes, that doesn't look like something you just buy at Walmart, does it? No, they would make their clothes from the skins of animals. Yeah, it's really amazing. Okay, and it looks like he's out hunting because they couldn't go to Walmart to get their food, or H-E-B or Kroger. They had to go and they had to kill it. They had to get their own food and bring it back and cook it over a fire. That was how they got their meat and all their food they ate. Okay, here's another picture. Native Americans knew many, many things about how to live here way back then. They knew how to plant seeds in the ground and grow corn, and grow pumpkins and grow beans to eat. They knew how to hunt deer and turkey. They knew how to catch fish to eat. Wow. My goodness, they lived pretty different, didn't they? Look at their houses. Do our homes look like that today? No, they don't, do they? Yeah. But do we eat fish? Look at their fish. I eat fish, but I don't go put a I don't know, pointy thing in it and catch it in the river. I go to H-E-B. Yeah. So in some ways, we're like them. In some ways, we're different. And that's what the other video I'm going to make in just a second is going to help us talk about ways that we're the same and ways that we're different. Okay? So watch the next video and it'll tell you what your assignment is. Okay? Now, think about this. What are we talking about today and tomorrow? What are these people called? Native Americans. Good job, guys. Good job. Okay, watch the next video. Okay, bye.